So, welcome to another stream. Today, Tuesday education stream. We will be starting off the book club today. And this is also the last education stream in some time because I'll be going on vacation soon-ish. Not really vacation, I'm still like writing on my bachelor thesis, but I just decided that it's not like it's would be very bothersome if I had to kind of like keep up the streaming and being on vacation and working on the batch. It would just be too much, and like sometimes you just can't be everywhere, right? So so we're good. But yeah, let's make the best out of today and what we have, and go through the education stream. Before that, oh thank God, I still have some water. Um, do you sometimes feel like when you don't drink enough that you're just significantly feeling worse? Mm, I don't know. Always like I find this one of the main indicators whether I'm feeling good or not. Um, but I have like a few changes actually in terms of like how I'm streaming because I recently set up my system in a way that I can use like all three monitors. So technically, like the MacBook is its own little monitor right there. So now I can use, come on, two monitors for my PC, and I can also use all three monitors with the MacBook. So yeah, that took some time to get settled because like cables have difficult. Like not every HDMI cable fits like to like every. It, let me tell you, it is a bit of a hassle. But now I'm much more flexible, and also thanks to actually let me sit down because I have been uh, I've um been taking a walk actually. So I haven't done this in quite some time, to be honest. Just like taking walks, I mean, because I've been so busy building all this here up. Um, meant that whenever I had free time and I wasn't working or like playing, that I was like working here. And now I have like the time to go outside again and be in nature, which is pretty cool. But that just means that I've been like walking and standing for quite some time, and I don't know, just sitting is nice. But what I want to say is like I have this now, which is the trackpad for the Mac. So instead of kind of showing my display from the PC, we'll be mostly looking at the display from the Mac, which is like quite different. And let me actually switch back to that. Um, yeah, so far like the microphone is still from the PC, and but now I can like start for example, if I were to play music from the PC, now you like hear the music from the PC, which is kind of nice. Yeah, so I think I'm gonna tune this down a little bit on here. So to the point where you should have nothing to hear. So I'm still like kind of testing things out. So by the way, like if you are happy with the music, do let me know. So if I were to turn this off, you should have new music. So how loud can I make it without you hearing the music? Because I prefer having the music over speakers. That's still okay. That still works. Nice. How far can I get this? This is 80 now. Still don't hear any background music? Damn, okay, what about... Okay. So this is just the music that is being picked up by the microphone. Let's keep it here. And let you listen to it. So, let's switch now. still not working perfectly with like the switching around, because I actually don't know why. But it kind of feels like the Mac is having issues, to be honest. So because now I'm like doing almost everything over the Mac, which I haven't tried yet. So I'm quite like, this is in a way testing phase. So while I try to hotfix this live, let me tell you about the book that we'll be going over today, because this is a book that in a way I have been like, it more or less started my personal growth journey. So I find this like one of the more exciting books to go over, and this is the 7 Habits for Highly Effective People. So with that, I'll be able to more or less introduce you to the things that I more or less got started with, and in a way you don't have to go through that already, because I have done that, and this should just save you a bit of time. So still not certain why this doesn't work. No, let me shortly switch. So can you see this? Yeah, so you can see it, but I can't, which is kind of strange. So this is kind of the display that I want to show, but I don't see it. So yeah, these are currently my I think this is the games that you're seeing there. But yeah, that's kind of like the thing with the new setup. It doesn't always work. So if I were to disconnect this now, you wouldn't have that anymore, right? What do you have? No. You still see that? Wow. It's not like the display is maybe like, I feel like this is just old. No. I think the display is broken. No. Yeah, I was still muted. So yeah, these were more or less the games that I've been playing. And actually let me switch to does that not work? That's where I want to go. No. I thought I programmed that in. Anyways, so I think I prefer to go here. Alright. So these were my favorite games. And what we're gonna look at today are not the games, and also not the fiction or the series, but more, neither are we gonna look at the movies, but we're gonna look at the books. And I recently found out a nice sort, which I'd like to implement here as well. You have to do this ace ascending, and then up arrow. Now, how did I filter it here? Because I would like to keep the same filtering going. Here I hadn't. So this is now all like different views from the same database. If you'd be interested, I'm still here. I'd like to be. Let me know whether this is okay or not. Like, technically not directly looking at the screen. So I'll be like on the side. And I guess I'll experiment with that. Because at the moment I don't have a scene with the right camera in focus. So, yeah. Experimenting here. But maybe. How about that? No, it's only half of the screen. Do that. Oh. And I feel like this is zoomed out. Okay, still looks. Let's make this a little bit bigger. This is nice. So. Here I have the 7 habits actually at the front. So, score status here. If I keep the same thing here now. Score status. Even though the status should be the same. Descending. Yes. No. Okay, it's arbitrary. If I were to move this here, I could if I wanted. Because I think I want to have this. So these are in a way like sneak peeks on like book clubs that will be coming up. So I'm pretty sure I'll do How to Win Friends and Influence People next. Yeah. Let's put moonshots there though. No. And the story of us should go. I don't know, these are already good. What about if we were to sort them after the areas? Not after. So then we would start there. Because education. Still don't know why it's. I guess. Yeah, that makes sense. Okay. Does that make more sense? Oh, I would probably put this under wisdom today. Let me actually do that. So yeah, here it is under soul. Oh, no. Ooh, this is nice. In a way, like this is the first time that I'm kind of, or not the first time because I'm using like the same thing on the Mac, but still. It's not really technology. Should get rid of this. Okay. This is definitely spirituality, even though I think I could. I think this would actually fit more under wisdom. Oh, under oneness now. Holistic, I mean. There you go. Get rid of spirituality here. Wisdom. I feel like this is more identity than contribution. This is definitely relationships. This is more education than it's bonding. So this is kind of what I'm like would be doing anyways. And now I actually didn't want to like rework everything because I thought it would be like a nice activity on the stream as well. So I think this is more actually this is more behavior than neither of these. Oh. Funny. And this is behavior as well. I think then let's keep this networking. Networking. This is all of them, I feel like. No, but this would be more networking. Yeah. And this is behavior and less community. I don't think this is officially out yet, like the story of us, because Tim Urban has been like just writing these as blog articles in a way. So technically I wanted to start with this today. But this is more management focused. Maybe I can like, let's loop them backwards. That would be fun. Let's do not ascending but descending. Let's get rid of the years. Now I would actually put this under motivation. I think we're gonna start today. And like in a way the book is touching other things as well, so that's quite nice. And then we have this for next time. Would this be management mostly? I think so. I'd like to have one book for each area, to be honest. So let's switch this to... I'll split the difference. I have too many S-ranking Frank books. Yeah, but even I guess it could be either. Wait, let me quickly if I remember correctly. Bottom right, left. Yeah. So negotiation, I would put more under behavior actually. So yeah, behavior fits. And the story of us is also behavior. And this is networking. Yeah. So I'll have to choose between one of those. Probably gonna go with this one though. Do I want to switch the others to A? I think this is definitely the best of these. Yeah, let's switch the others to A. Even though they're kind of have it. Yeah, also this turn. So now we also need... Oh, this is fun. We need one for each area. 7 habits. I'm not sure where to put it because, well, it says habits. Okay, we don't have an identity one. Okay, let's say we can have one S rank for every sub area because I kind of like, so I have to choose between these on behavior. The thing is, this is more enjoyable, but this is more practical. I think this can be used for community. Yes, the community. And then I think once you have like the thing is sometimes the ranking of the book, like if you rank it immediately after reading, it's very biased. Like you have the recency bias, that is like really good, but like sometimes it takes some time to settle. Okay, so we have one motivation, one finance, one networking. We should sort with her. There you go. Yes, and this is perfect. So networking behavior. Then we have relationships, we have balance, we have identity. We have holistic, we have wisdom, we have education. So any of these a rank. I feel like this would be S. I see this being S. So I think this, let's have this an S, but this is more, and this is more polished. Yeah. This is currently the best book that I've read about nature. Why I don't know. And if I have one for each, I think this would be cheap. I don't think I completely understood what this one. Okay. So we sort and then score. I like this. No, I don't like this. So that means we would go backwards. That's first and then. Okay, so I'm gonna have one strength for each area, though, at least I think. So this works. This works for balance, identity. This is for education. So I think we only need body. I really like the other one. That was very written. Is it an S rank though? How much this picture? Sleep smart it is. For nothing. Because I started some time ago, and over the last 3 years, they were changing quite stable. But some were done. Like, this is doable. But I'll help you. Yes. But to today's book club. Now. A little bit more chill this way. We don't have to like stress. We can like chat a little bit. I can organize my things here and there. Yeah. So do let me know what you think. And yeah. Oh, actually, I forgot the question of the stream. And now, since so the thing is, like, I have my PC now on my right side, which is pretty cool. So let me just quickly disable browser so you don't hear anything, and check out the stream. Education stream. View playlist. Yes, we are currently live. Oh, you don't even see the right proper one? Or is this very old? Oh, you're just way back. Okay. There's quite the delay there on the stream. Okay. No. So there you go. Nice. I'm starting to get competent in this. I quite like it. Okay. So moonshots is today's focus. So not 7 habits. Let's close this for now. I wonder, like I haven't gone through this actually. This is wonder like how well this organized. So the the thing is, once I start like fiddling around with the stream now, I think I would have to resize it again. So I think I need like a different layout for each of these streams, instead of like being able to move this picture here all over the place. I think it's more valuable. Okay. But for now, let's turn this full width. And we can make it again. So, moonshot in EV Jane. So you see here have these, and yeah, I have this under the sub area like motivation, because I think this is one of the this weird timing to look here instead of there. I do want to change this. I don't think 2 cameras is... I think having 2 cameras is too much though. Let me just put this all... So this is now... Alright, this should work. So, Moonshots by Nivi is more or less explaining how by shooting for the moon, whatever you're working on is actually becoming easier, because you focus on the things that people are actually passionate about changing, instead of going for these like 5% improvements. Kind of how, I'm not sure if you noticed, but phones haven't really improved a whole lot throughout the last couple of years. Like, oh yeah, the camera is getting better here and there, and the display is getting slightly better, and we have a bit more battery time, but there weren't any major improvements. Kind of like there weren't these big milestones. That was just like, oh yeah, it's basically the same phone with just like new features. Where like the real change is happening is on the software layer, and I think this is one of the reasons why Apple is so successful, because their software is superior. Not their hardware, but their software is so good. But that's beside the point. What I mean is, you need a company, or like when you're working for someone, it makes such a big difference whether you say, let's make the phone 5% better, or let's create a phone that everyone is like constantly currently talking about. Or let's do like delivery from place A to place B. Like no one wants to join that, but saying like, hey, like let's bring people to Mars, which is technically also like just delivery. It's much more appealing, much more difficult, but also much more appealing. So therefore you'll be attracting a lot more. I've read this so often now. Who said this? This is like a famous quote, I think. Who did say that? Was that Henry Ford? Yeah, that was Henry Ford. Okay. Let's make this a quote actually. Henry Ford. Okay. By every objective measure, the world is getting better. There is simply no disturbing that we're living the best times in history of humanity, and it's getting better. Technological innovation is the driver of long-term economic growth. Maintaining the status quo, or even worse, retreat, means certain death, the unsustainable consumption of resources, ultimately economic collapse. So, yeah. I think, yeah, let's dismiss this. Yeah, so I think this is a nice start for the summary. Let's go over to progression. You should only move to the next level after having mastered the previous level, irrespective of how long it may have taken, because of their immersive, engaging nature. Oh, okay. So this, I know, is part of education. So let's already move this down here. I'm sorry, I have to like make this a little bit smaller. I hope you can still read things, but like I need to navigate. And I'm also reading things out for you. So, in the light of the mind, the sum of your knowledge, beliefs, dispositions, openness, experience, and attitudes about the world and your place in it compromises this most powerful entity called the mindset. You are not required to accept any of the default settings. The expectations, and we have missing capitalization of the E. The expectation is different from hope in that it gives you the inner conviction that your goal is attainable, even when it seems irrational. The mindset of an entrepreneur is the conductor of a symphony of intellectual curiosity, active imagination, free-range possibility, forward-looking optimism, prescient perception, and of course, grit. Grit is passion and perseverance for very long-term goals. Grit is the #1 predictor of success. Actually, I think I sound such like a nerd. I guess I am a massive nerd. So, actually, the #1 predictor of success is IQ. Grit, which is another word for conscientiousness, is the second biggest predictor of success. So, let me comment this actually, because this is what was in the book. So let's comment. IQ is a better predictor of success. Grit would be the second best if grit is defined as conscientiousness. There you go. Yeah. So this is grit. Achievement equals skill times perseverance times purpose. There is little difference between obstacle and opportunity. Yeah. Otherwise, I think this is solid. This is so cool. Like reading my own notes on that. When did I read this? Back in 2019. That's what? That's like 3 years ago. Okay. I was like a different person back then. So the perception is reality. Moonshots, entrepreneurs, audacious, big vision-driven people who do not feel compelled to align their perception with those of the crowd. Reward killing old ideas. This is so important. Like don't like focus on old ideas. So this all is an old idea, and I'm not afraid to like kill some of these or change ideas. So that's literally what I'm doing right here. Don't bother with perception. Reveal the reality. Just as curiosity is more powerful than IQ, the ability to shift your perspective is more powerful than being smart. Humans are 4-dimensional beings because we can perceive 3 dimensions. Yeah, I still don't... Like, I tried to explain this multiple times, but I still find this difficult. Humans are because in a way, you can only perceive one dimension above yourself. So if you take, for example, a dot is one-dimensional, a line is two-dimensional, and a square would be three-dimensional? Like a cube would be three-dimensional, yeah. So a square is still two-dimensional. So a square can perceive its dots along it, but it cannot understand that it itself is a square, because you need to look from the outside of the like look from the outside to realize the full picture. Like the square, if the square had a conscience, blah, blah, blah. If the square had a conscience, it would not be able to say that it's a square because it cannot see itself from a third perspective. This is only possible by a cube, for example, because a cube can observe that, oh, this part of me is a square, but the cube again is not able to realize that it's a cube. This would be like need another dimension. So a human being can say this is cube because human beings are four-dimensional, but that also means we can re-perceive what we are because we would need to look at ourselves from the outside. Hope that makes, at least this is the point that is trying to be made here, I think. Okay, I think this still fits there. What if developing a mindset of possibility is just a matter of practice? In every habit, we find three consistent components: cue, routine, reward. You cannot completely eradicate a bad habit, but you can switch the old routine with a new. Without problems to solve, there is no motivating tension. Without tension, there is no progress. Without progress, there is only stagnation. A thing only seems impossible until someone does it. Tension is our only limit. You simply ask, could such a world be possible? And if you believe that such a world is possible, why can't we also create it? I've come to believe that the seed of identity, what makes us unique, lies in the pattern of connections between the brain's neurons. Robots will help humans accomplish things that previously unimagined things. Robots will help humans accomplish previously unimagined things. Yeah, that's nice. By the way, Grammarly. So nice. So yes. Then imagine this. The future is imagination, which is the capacity to conceive of what is not. Whatever you can imagine, you can create. To solve any problem, unshackle your mind from all preconceived notions and let your imagination run wild. Lateral thinking essentially says you cannot dig a hole in a different place by digging the same hole deeper. That would be vertical thinking. This is, I really like this. This thinking says, I wanna highlight this because this is the difference between like an specialist and a specialist and a generalist. So this is the conception of a generalist because like he's going broad instead of deep. Okay. So lateral thinking goes looking for a different box altogether. Disruptive innovation means a complete reimagining of something that everyone takes for granted. The only scarce resource in the world are imagination, curiosity, and creativity. I don't think we need to do this all in yellow, but come on. Why doesn't that turn? I demand thee to change. Oh, the whole box is yellow. So there we go. Because I only want these to be yellow. There we go. This is nice. Okay. The future of imagination. Yeah, that makes sense. Intellectual curiosity, the entrepreneur's superpower. Why is a question that leads to how, which is stuff of innovation. Makes sense. Curiosity is our mechanism for bridging the gaps in our understanding of what is really possible. With more knowledge comes deeper, more wonderful mystery, luring one to penetrate deeper still. It appears that curiosity has a sweet spot in the tension between what we know and don't yet know. Curiosity and knowledge form an inverted view. So this. Instilling a sense of intellectual curiosity enables a personal growth and growth as a society as a whole. The minute you stop questioning, things become static and degrade over time. Yeah. So to go a little bit deeper there, at some point, so when you start a new topic, so at the beginning it's like, okay, what is this? Oh, let's quickly make a few adjustments that just make the writing a little bit better. So let's say you want to learn to program. So in the beginning, you're not really curious because you have no idea what this actually is, and you have very little knowledge of that. And then you start to like, go like, oh wow, like I can do so much with that. And like curiosity rises as your knowledge rises. It's like, oh my god, like the possibilities are endless. And then at some point, you kind of like stagnate because like you get more and more knowledge, but you're not as curious because you already know most of the stuff already. So you gain more and more knowledge, but your curiosity sinks because there's not that much to learn more that you don't yet know. So I hope that makes sense. So yeah, I think this still fits under the general points of the book. So life without trade-offs. Consider what we fight over. We fight over land, we fight over water, and we fight over energy. But all we have to do is look up. Okay, I know this is part of space, so let's move this to space. Probably. Yeah. So ripples in the pond of possibility. Following our passion is also invariably accompanied by what seems like a divine influence, manifested as an inspired vision that takes hold of you and will not let you go. Calling calls you out, and when you answer that call, it blossoms as a motive to act as a life force, so decisively. So I assume this needs to be removed. Yeah. So decisively that you come to organize your whole world around it. This literally happened to me with Holy Game. It's like, oh, I need to do that. And then like everything just followed in its place. Everyone dreams of changing the world, but few realize that the process begins with changing oneself. Yes, very true. I had to, when I quit my first bachelor's degree, which is back in 2019, so around the time when I read this book, probably I was inspired through this book by that, was, what did I want to say? Oh yeah, right. Like, you need to change yourself first. And like after quitting my university degree, I just started reading books like crazy because I needed like, okay, what do I do next? And I thought like I was missing some information, so I started consuming a whole lot of information. One of that was this book. Why are we here, and why should anyone care that we exist? That's a good question. Those are the questions organizations should increasingly ask. Yes. Opportunity has never been greater. Yes. For starters, unlike those who seek instant gratification, you know the power of the long view. Love ideas, big ideas. You don't want to shrink from change. In fact, you embrace change. Because in spite of anxiety you might feel about it, you recognize that opportunity is inherent in change. You're also innately curious. Therefore, you are continually learning, constantly exposing yourself to ever more ideas and opportunities. What's more, you're not content to merely work for money. You seek much bigger prize. Yeah, I feel like this heavily influenced my decision to quit university. Because I was just not satisfied with having, like, I would have gotten a good job. As a reference, I studied. So let me say the German word first, and then let me explain what it is. Because like, even for German standards, this is a mouthful. Gebäudesystemtechnik. No, I feel like, is that really? That sounds good. Yeah, Gebäudesystemtechnik. So that's not even something you regularly hear in Germany. And what it's basically boils down to a smart janitor who is like organizing homes smartly, like through, for example, these smart lights that I can just change like that. And essentially I figured out that instead of like studying that, I would be much better served by just studying like parts of IT and have programmed that, because I didn't need to know the electrical engineering behind like how this works. I wanted to change like that it just doesn't work. So yeah, I kind of managed to accomplish this even without like through my studies. I did notice the importance of like programming, and I'm like very like respect to anyone who's studying like mechanical engineering as well, but I refer to electrical engineering. Like, that shit is hard. Like the formulas that you have to know like seem to be contradicting themselves. Yeah, not my form of thinking. Alright, so now to moonshots. You don't learn to walk by following the rules, you learn by doing it by falling over. Don't scare you, they're too small. In biology, we're editing genes inside the human body and regenerating complete organs. In computer science, we're witnessing the advent of quantum computing and brain-computer interfaces. I think that should be nice. Or the brain-computer interface, or brain-computer interfaces. I feel like there will be multiple interfaces, so I think that's okay with me changing. In physics, we finally realized the long-sought metallic hydrogen, a wholly grave-temperature superconductor that will also enable deep space launches with a single-stage rocket. Okay, I haven't heard of that in recently. No, it's like back in 2019. In space, we have observed gravitational waves and found more nearby exoplanets in the Goldilocks zone, just right for supporting life. So it means like just the perfect distance to the sun, so it's like not too cold, not too warm. That's the Goldilocks zone, because there's only like a very small window for life to be sustainable, because we kind of need acceptable temperatures. We face two challenges that hold us back. We have forgotten how to dream big dreams, and we are afraid of failure. Yeah, especially in Germany. It's very hard to kind of start your own business here. People tend to be very conservative through that. There's never been a time in human history when people have enjoyed access to such resources as we have today, and when a small group of people can do things that in the past could only be contemplated by nation states. Just the fact that like I can okay, so there's so many things that just like changed completely, but just the fact that I can move text back and forth and have like essentially a program completely rewrite this would like a whole team of editors, and like just imagine you had to like write everything down like physically. Yeah, by the way, if you want to have access to this, I can like let me actually can I actually copy this? How do I copy from my Mac to my Windows PC? There was just the possibility to engage with chat in OBS. This is so dumb that it's not possible. Ooh, I know. So this is a cool thing about Apple, right? Because I'm showing a clipboard with my Mac. So when I open YouTube now and go to my channel, and then kind of go to the playlists and go to the education stream and check out the current stream, I can post this here in chat. So there we go. So you should have access to this page and kind of can look at it yourself at your own leisure. Yeah, you're welcome. It's just Notion and Apple, and it just works nicely. Okay. So moonshots completely obliviate. I think. Obviate word. What does obviate mean? I'm pretty sure they mean obliviate. Obviate, remove. Huh. Maybe obliviate is a little bit strong. Okay, moonshots completely obviate competition. Moonshots fundamentally redefine. So obviate means it basically eliminate or like move. Moonshots fundamentally redefine what is possible in a given space, which entirely transcends competitive thinking. Moonshots require the audacious, if not eccentric, entrepreneur. Check. With an equally audacious dream. Check. Okay. I'm not gonna like go too deep because we already have 7, and I want to go to play volleyball today. So I think we have another half an hour before I go. So I'm not gonna go like into the reds for now because that leisure time, I guess. Vision without execution equals hallucination. Moonshots operate in the non-linear region of the imagination. By asking big audacious questions, they can inject themselves into the realm of the impossible. They transcend the conventional business planning process and openly defy conventional wisdom. No strategy, however brilliant, survives the first contact with reality. There are no recipes. That is the hard thing about hard things. There is no formula for dealing with them. A business plan is too long if it's longer than one page. I've heard like different things about that. So I think you should have different business plans. So one that is like 4 pages and like you try to explain in very much detail. Then you have like 1 page, then you have 1 paragraph, and then you have 1 sentence. And depending on who you're talking to, you can like send either of those. So I think I have different versions for different people. Big companies are, so by the way, I made a comment here in case you didn't see. Big companies are slow moving, inevitable, become bureaucratic and more skilled at the art of self-preservation than innovation. Yes. I think Apple and Google are really good examples of that not happening, or like exceptions to the rule. Even though like they still are bureaucratic, but I feel like less than the caliber of business should be at this stage. Every successful company goes through a near-death experience before it achieves its goal. The difficulties pass, and they pass more quickly when you can expect them to come along. The ups and downs show that you're alive. Every day is another day in the arena, and you need to be physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually fit to succeed at. Entrepreneurship is the highest state of consciousness that I've experienced in the professional world. Moonshots are made of big commitments on small things and not too many things at once. Getting early traction with customers is absolutely essential. I think I should do this more. We are determined to build technology, develop science, and begin to gather critical mass of customers in parallel. Without vital early feedback, you can only guess what customers are willing to pay for. That's kind of why I started streaming and being more open with what I've been building. Because quite frankly, we're just getting started. So in case you have any feedback, do let me know. It does help quite a bit. The best companies always succeed in execution, not vision. So freely share your ideas. You learn a lot when you do. You learn much when you do, I guess. Any intelligent fool can make things better and more complex. By the way, I'm not thinking about the Grammarly suggestions. Like sometimes they may not be like the best, but like 90% they are. And by me just not having to think, I'm accepting the 10% where they're not the best suggestions. So overall, it just improves things. You can always succeed in the market where there is discontent with the status quo. And there's always discontent with the status quo. Firms that can define a vision can also assemble the needed resources and inspire people for the task ahead. And when a properly formed mindset meets flawless execution, you lose. What your competitors see as an end, you see as a means, and at the same time, every attained end begins a new course ad infinitum toward the larger goal. You have to continue to learn and adapt as new information becomes available. You have to learn and adapt as new information becomes available continually. When you've discovered that you're working on the wrong problem, or have determined that one of the intermediate goals is not working, it may be necessary to abandon the course in favor of another more feasible path, another means to the same end. Indeed, when setting out on a long journey, detours are to be expected. Same true north. So let me show this. Short, but not so short that it does not afford sufficient generous measures to allow us to accomplish many great things, but only if that time is well invested. Dreams are well and good, but without passion, that great ideas will ever be stuck on the side of the energy barrier. Everything begins with imagining the world not as it is, but as you want it to be. This is your vision, the what of your moonshot. Bringing out how to get from here is your mission, the how. Bringing out how to get there from here is your mission, the how of your moonshot. Fulfilling the promise is your purpose, the why of your moonshot. Okay. Why, how, what? I feel like we should do it like that. And now we highlight the what, the how, and the why. Come on. There you go. You have an you have an infrastructure to build, data to collect, alliances to make, partnerships to forge, logistics to solve, agreements to negotiate, team to assemble, track the missing pieces of your vision. The irresistibility, attractive quality of a transformative purpose should be within every moonshot. Inspire others with the vision for your mission. Alright. So now the big four of the Navy. Set challenging but achievable long-term and short-term goals. Connect these goals to your life vision. Practice deep breathing techniques to control the stress response and center the mind. Visualize anticipated experiences and outcomes to improve concentration, reduce anxiety, and build confidence. Can we somehow make this red? Can we get rid of this? This doesn't like seem to fit here. That's okay. Because like the thing is, this is also, even though this is the original, this is also at a different place. I could just delete it, but like, so. Let me just, might as well show you how this works. So this is a block, right? And as you see, the red outlining means this is a sync block. And this is synced to different pages, one of which is purpose, which I've just opened. And here in purpose, we see when it loads that it is right here under planning. So the big four of the Navy, and underneath we have accomplish any goal, which is this one. So the question is this relevant in terms of planning? Yes, it is. Therefore, I'll leave that here, but maybe it fits underneath here. Accomplish any goal. The divine 8 steps to accomplish any goal in the area of your life that you may set for yourself. Number 1, live an examined life. What is meant by this is that the most important aspect of mental toughness is to know yourself, what drives you and motivates you deeply. Master your body, mind, and emotions to excel at an elite level. To do this requires the knowledge, skills, and commitment to live a life of training and daily improvement. Take your eyes off yourself and put them on others in service. Number 4, learn to win in your mind before you set foot in the arena. Number 5, learn to select the right targets, connected to the main purpose in your life. Number 6, employ KISS. Keep it simple, stupid. Planning and be willing to execute with an imperfect plan. Number 7, take massive action using micro goals and then fail forward fast. Number 8, never good, period. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna delete this here. And I'm gonna turn, like, kind of unstick it. Yeah, unstick all, yes. And now I'm gonna turn this into 12 heading 3, make this red, and move this inside here. And now we can also remove moonshots because we already have a link. And as you see,